if you are really interested in the guy and he calls and asks you to go out, I wouldn't do that. Oh, well, I'm busy that night. I'm busy that. Oh, no, I can't. If you're not busy and you're interested in him, say yes.
Welcome to the Danielle Hage podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Hage. Danielle is my mother-in-law and Nini to my 3 girls. She is pastor, speaker, and founder of Dynamic Traits. She has over 40 years experience in family and marriage relationships. She's been married for 43 years to Steve Hage, who travels the world preaching the gospel, and together they pastor a church in Laguna Niguel, California. So I'm so excited you're here today to talk about how to attract a masculine man.
Yeah.
So not just any man, how to attract a masculine man.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that masculine and feminine energy.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, and this is for the singles, okay? This is for the single women. First of all, you have to decide what you want, okay? Are you looking for a guy just to have, a man to have a companion, someone to travel with, someone to have fun with, play with, move in with? Are you looking for marriage? Like, what do you want? Once you've decided what it is that you want, and you need to be honest what you really want, then these are just some steps to help you to get what you want. Now, I'm going to take it from the viewpoint that you're looking for a monogamous, long-term relationship, and that will end in marriage. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how the points that I'm going to give you will be, this is how you're going to get to marriage. All right. So the first thing, number 1, is you have to look your best. Okay. Remember, men are visual. That does not mean you have to be the perfect model woman, but beauty is doing the best with what you have. Mm-hmm. So, learn how to wear your makeup, learn what kind of makeup looks good on you, what colors look good on you, what kind of clothes look good on you. If you don't know how to do makeup, there's so many beauty counters today that will give you a free makeover, right? Because they want to sell their makeup to you. Or maybe you have a friend who's really good at makeup. Just ask for help. How do I wear my makeup? Get your hair done. Find a hairstyle that it looks flattering to your shape of face. Yeah. And if you go get your hair done, pretty much anybody that's in the hair business can tell you this is the haircut that will look best on you. Yeah. Color cut, that kind of stuff. So you got to take care of yourself. You need to, just like you're not going to be attracted to a guy who looks like a slob, who doesn't have good hygiene, who doesn't look kept up, or is, overweight and doesn't take care of himself. You're not going to be attracted to that. Neither is a man. So you need to, and again, this doesn't mean you have to have certain measurements. It doesn't mean you have to be a certain size. You're doing the best with what you have. But you need to exercise. And I'm a fitness freak. So of course, that's like number one thing that I tell people. Mm-hmm. You need to take care of your bodies. You need to eat healthy, find what kind of food works best for your body, eat healthy, and exercise. Whatever kind of activity, movement. I know some women, they're like, exercise is not my thing. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so she's probably thinking going to the gym is not her thing. I don't necessarily love the gym either, but you got to do what you can be consistent with. The kind of workout, whether it's going for a walk, going for a jog, hiking, Pilates, yoga, a dance class, anything that gets your physical body moving. Yeah. So for me, I need to break a sweat. I need to break a sweat every day. Yeah. I probably work out minimum 6 days a week, sometimes 7, but I like it. I love it. I love how it makes me feel. I like how it makes me look. I've been into fitness my whole life. So but that's something that I like. So again, you have to find what program, what activity suits you best, because if you hate it, you're not going to keep up with it.
And just to clarify, we're not talking about to have like the best shaped body ever. Right. Are you talking do you think it has to do with solely the physical aspect of working out, or do you think also the confidence that it brings and that you exude as a woman? Mm-hmm.
All of it. It's how it makes you feel. You're not doing it for him. You're doing it for you. Yeah. Okay. I've never exercised to keep my body a certain way for my husband. Mm-hmm. I've always done it for me because I like to look a certain way. I like to feel a certain way. Yeah. I like the endorphins that it gives you. I love all that stuff. Yeah. And it's just healthy. I want to have a good heart. I want to live a long life so that I can fulfill my purpose, so I can be there for my grandkids.
So we don't all have to be the Kim Kardashian models that we're all being, we think that we're being compared to.
Yeah, they don't have to be the standard. Okay? They're beautiful women. They don't have to be the standard.
I know. Sorry.
You do what fits you.
Yeah. I just know, being married now 12, 13 years, I've been all sorts of shapes and sizes, especially after having kids. And never once has my husband ever criticized, especially when I don't feel necessarily good about my body. Yeah. He loves all shapes and sizes. I know what type of body he prefers a little bit. So I do, when I do exercise and feel good about myself and hormones in check, I try to, maintain a certain look or shape or, he doesn't like the too muscular and too many shoulders and all that kind of stuff. And the abs,
he likes a little, man.
He likes a little softness, but he also likes more slim. Anyways, all that to say, I'm not working out for him. I'm working out to feel good.
Yes.
He's never criticized when I don't necessarily feel good, but he notices, hey, what can I do? If you're not working out as much or you're not feeling as good about yourself, like how can I help you, how can I help you get there? Because it's the confidence too that keeps him attracted.
Yeah. It's for your personal state of mind and state of being, okay? That has nothing to do with the man. But when you feel good about yourself, you can, like you say, you walk with your head high, you walk in confidence. Because this next one you're going to need to feel good about yourself, okay? Second thing, you've got to smile and you have to flirt. Yeah, okay? Yeah. If you're going to a place where there's lots of people, your smile is huge for a man. When you get eye contact with a man, let's say there's a certain man that you see in the room that you're attracted to. You want to get his eye contact, and then you want to smile because your smile signals to him it's safe to approach.
Yeah.
It gives him permission to approach.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look away from a man, most men aren't gonna that you're not looking at. They're not just gonna come up to you like if you've not noticed them. Yeah. But if you smile at them, you give them eye contact and you count to 5. Like this is really important. It's not you just notice and turn away like this. But you look at them in the eyeball and you smile and you don't look away for 5 seconds. Like count to yourself 1, 1,000, 2, 1, and that is hard. You're going to find that hard. It's not easy.
Sweat dripping down your brow.
It's not easy. It's uncomfortable. For some women, flirting, especially if you're a more introverted person or more bashful, flirting is going to be uncomfortable for you. But again, we're talking about how to attract a masculine man if you're single. So 5-second rule. Eye contact, don't look away, even if however uncomfortable it may be. Next thing, you cannot be the first to speak, okay? You're not the first to say hello. You're just smiling. When he comes over, when he approaches, you just smile. You don't say a word. You let him say hello. Yeah. You let him say, hi, I'm so-and-so. What's your name? Yeah. And then now you can talk. But again, this might be hard to do too, especially if you're a very confident woman, an assertive woman. Mm-hmm. Like I find myself, but it's okay for me because I'm married. I always say hi. If I'm in the elevator with somebody or passing a man, men love to be acknowledged. I will always say hi, but I'm not looking to attract him.
You're not trying to attract him.
Right.
Yeah.
But as a single woman who wants to be the feminine and wants to attract a masculine man, if you're the first to speak, you're setting the stage for the relationship. It's going to put you in the masculine role. The masculine is the initiator. The masculine energy is the pursuer. He's the giver. The feminine is the responder, a little more passive. You're going to respond. You're going to be the receiver. Okay. So if you pursue a man, call a man, text a man, it's putting you in the masculine role.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't have a problem being in the masculine role, great. More power to you. Just know you will attract a feminine energy man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I know lots of men that have a lot of feminine energy, very manly men. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have anything to do with their manliness. They just have more feminine or a lot of feminine energy. These are like the artistic type of men. Emotional men, preachers, poets,
men with
writers.
A lot of words. Yeah.
Yes. My husband, he's a very man's man, but he's got a lot of feminine energy. Yeah. And he's the first to admit that. Doesn't mean that he's a pansy or a wimp or anything like that. So if you want to be the one that's calling the shots as a woman, that the feminine energy man will be the kind that you attract. Okay, just to be aware of that.
Yeah.
So he's the first to speak. Next thing, how you dress. Okay. Some women think the more skin they show, the more the men they're going to attract. Possibly, but it might not be the kind of man that you want to attract.
Yeah. Especially if your goal is to have a monogamous, committed relationship.
Yes. Yes. If you just want to fling, and if you just want a sex buddy,
it's different.
Wear as few clothes as possible. But you're probably not going to get a gentleman, a classy guy. Okay, if you want a classy guy, you have to dress classy. You can dress classy, sexy, because class is sexy. I think that. And I know a lot of men that would say that too. For some men, showing too much skin, a lot of cleavage, a lot of leg is uncomfortable for them. I've even heard men say gosh, it makes me mad that woman, shows so much cleavage because he's trying so hard to look in your eyes and he can't help but notice the cleavage. So, maybe a little bit, but not too much. Don't overdo it that way. You don't have to wear super short skirts. Again, what you need to be sexy is this. This is all you need to show is your face, okay? And it's your personality, it's your attitude, all those things are what causes you to be sensual and sexy. All right, so if you don't know how to dress, if you need help with that, again, lots of department stores offer personal shoppers.
Find an influencer on Instagram.
Find an influencer that you like,
sizes.
How they wear. Yeah, go on YouTube, and they have all kinds of YouTube videos of here's a look that here's how you put together this with that, and just for fun, and just get ideas of what fits your personality and what colors look good on your skin tone.
Yeah.
Again, you can ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help in those areas. All right. Another thing you can do is you want to go to places where men are, okay, where people are. You want to go to those kinds of places. And I would say go to places that you enjoy, where they're doing things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because let's say you hate tennis, but you're going to go hang around at a tennis club and you hate tennis. Well, if you meet a man that is a tennis player, you want to have something in common. Yeah. But if that's not your thing, go to places where they're doing things that you enjoy doing, whether it's an activity, an adult education class, an art class. If you like to dance, a dance studio or a club, or, you don't have to just meet people in bars.
Yeah.
Okay. But today they have so many things like meetup groups that you can go online and, this whole group of people, men and women, are all going to go on a bike ride at the beach, or this whole group they play pickleball, or this group they, whatever it is, but find a meetup group. That's a great place to meet people. Yeah. Okay. I am married. I'm a pickleball freak. I love pickleball, and I see the stuff that happens on the courts. And I always think, and you meet so many people and everybody's really friendly. And I always think, God, this is the best place for singles to meet. Yeah. It is it's a fun sport, an easy sport. Anybody can play it. And you start, if you go regularly to a certain park, you keep seeing the same people and you get to know them. You start
part
talking.
Of the community. Yeah.
And you might say, well, there's no one there I'm attracted to. You never know who's going to show up, and you never know who they know that's single, that they're looking at you going, oh, I've got a friend that would love you. So go to the places, again, that are doing the things that you enjoy doing. It could be a bookstore. It could be a library. If you like to read, you just never know. If you like to drink coffee, go to Starbucks, hang out.
Go to a coffee shop. I love that because I think if you're doing something you enjoy, again, you're going to exude more confidence, more fun. You're going to show a side of you that is attractive.
Right.
And meet somebody who has something in common with you.
Yes, because you want to meet someone that you have some of the same likes and dislikes, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I have to throw this in there because somebody asked me this question. It was a man, and good-looking guy, and very successful in what he did. And I'm going to say, I don't even know his age. I'm going to say probably right around 40s, possibly. And so he was telling me that he was somewhere, and there was a girl that he was attracted to. And so he went up to her and he gave her his card. And he said, here's my number. Give me a call. He goes, what do you think about that? I go, did she call?
He goes, the pursuer.
And I said, what you said is, I want you to pursue me.
Yeah.
Most women, not all, especially in today's day, I won't even say most. Some women don't want to be the pursuer. Some do. But if you do, okay. But if you want to be pursued, and and you want to be the feminine, the pursuer is the masculine.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to be the pursuee, if some man gives you his number, says, do you want my number? You could say, I'm uncomfortable calling men. But if you want my number, I'm happy to give you my number. And that way the ball's in his court. He needs to be the initiator. If you want a man that's masculine, okay, you're not going to be the caller. You're not going to be the initiator. You wait and let him do the pursuing.
Yeah. So if we want to be the feminine, we want to be pursued, how long do we play hard to get? What does that look like? How long do we play that game?
Well, and I know it kind of is a game. And I know people will say, well, I don't want to be a game player. I don't want to play the game.
Okay, the dance.
The dance, the relationship, the give and take. It is kind of a game. I would say, number one, if you are really interested in the guy and he calls and asks you to go out, I wouldn't do that. Oh, well, I'm busy that night. I'm busy that. Oh, no, I can't. If you're not. Right. If you're not busy and you're interested in him, say yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my opinion would be. I wouldn't, and especially because, and we talked about this, the stages of a man's life, if he is in prince mode, meaning he's working really hard, he's building, he's in his 30s, and he's working the hardest he's ever worked, he might not think to call you till Friday or maybe Thursday, and the weekend's coming because he's working so hard, he hasn't thought of anything else. And then Friday comes and he's like, oh, that's right. I want to call that girl I just met. And so and you might say, well, you can't call me on Friday and expect me to go out with you Friday night. Okay, but if you have no plans, go out with him. Say yes. Yeah. It's not that he's trying to play a game. He just has not had a moment to think of anything apart from what he's building. So if you're interested, I would say yes. Yeah. Now, if you really do have other plans, say, oh my gosh, I was looking forward to you calling and I did make plans, but hey, I'm available tomorrow night. Yeah. Just be honest, be authentic, be real. Yeah. That's what I would say. Yeah.
So how long play hard to get if you want a committed monogamous relationship with sex?
Well, men do like a challenge, but I wouldn't play real hard to get if you're interested. I would be your authentic self and let him know you're interested back. Yeah. I wouldn't play the game. That's how I look at it.
But what about sex? Because you don't say that with sex necessarily.
No, that's a whole
that's
different
what I'm asking. Like,
ballpark.
How long do you hold out for sex if you want a committed monogamous relationship?
Yes. Don't.
And especially from a masculine man. If you want to be the feminine who is pursued, how long do you wait to have sex?
If you want marriage, if you want a committed relationship, do not have sex with them the first date, second date, third date. Don't do that. So many people these days, I hear, they just hook up. It's called hooking up, right? Yeah. And they meet, they like each other, and bam, yes, there's chemistry there. Mm-hmm. And then you give into the chemistry and it just, takes you away into the bedroom. But for a man, men don't fall in love with a woman because she's sexy or she has a high-paying job or she's a good cook or does his laundry. That's not what causes a man to fall in love. He falls in love with a woman's virtue, a woman that says no. Like, he's going to ask, and that doesn't make him bad, doesn't make him nasty or unhealthy. A healthy man wants to have sex, and a man who is physically attracted to you wants to have sex with you. That's not bad. Okay, that's actually a good thing. But you can say no, and yes, I'm looking forward to that time too when that time comes, but it's too soon for me. And when you say no to a man, a good man wants to hear a woman say no because, again, it makes you a challenge, makes him have to work for it. Anything that you don't have to work for or you haven't earned, you don't value. Right? Yeah. It's like a kid, when they save their money and they buy something that they've been really wanting, they had to earn it themselves. Parents didn't just go buy it for them. They take really good care of it. Yeah. But stuff that they don't have to earn, you don't value things you didn't have to work for. Yeah. So when a man has to work for a woman, he's going to treat you very valuably, and that's what you want. So you need to name your price. And if you didn't hear our podcast about cover charges, you need to go back and listen. Yeah. That was one of our very first podcasts, the first section of podcasts. But I talk about, a woman needs to decide what she wants, what she needs before, during, and after sex. Yeah. And you need to kind of have a price. Like, this is what it's going to take. For some woman, it's going to take one dinner out and she's going to give it up. For some women, it's going to take a ring on their finger. Yeah. So you need to decide what you want. If you want a good man that is going to value you and respect you and cherish you, you make him wait. You need to get to know him. Yes, you can jump into bed, and people are doing it these days, but they don't know each other. Yeah. And guess who loses? The man doesn't lose out. The woman loses, all right? Because most women can't have sex the way a man can. And I know some single women that'll say that they can. They're usually postmenopausal women, okay? But because women, that oxytocin hormone in them causes them to bond to men. Yeah. Yeah. And then he doesn't call back. And you're all bonded now. The oxytocin has been released. You're all bonded. And he doesn't call back because you were easy. It was so easy. He didn't have to work for it. Yeah. So now he's on to the next woman. And men have this thing that they want to plant their seed. They want to spread their seed, okay? Maybe not a Christian man, but, most men are polygamous in their nature, unless they're Christian men and they're trying to do it.
Yeah, committed and monogamous.
Yes. Yeah. So again, it depends on what you want. But if you are a woman that is values her virtue, that's going to say something to a man. It's going to speak volumes to him. Yeah. So,
well, and you've even said what it takes to get you, that's what he's going to have to do to keep you.
That's right.
So if we can raise our stakes, he's going to have to continue to pursue you and cherish you and date you through marriage to be able to have that good relationship too.
And, I hear a lot, I get a lot of questions about, how much do you share on a first date? Like what all do you talk about on a first date? From where I'm sitting, I would say you're getting to know one another. Okay. Yeah. It's not like you're interviewing them, but you're wanting to know, like, what do you like? What do you dislike? Yeah. People connect at values. Mm-hmm. Do we think alike? Not that you have to think exactly identically, but do you value the same things? What are your core values? What are his core values? I think that needs to be talked about. What do you want? Do you want a family? Do you want marriage? Right. Because he might be a man that maybe he's divorced and already has 2 kids and is like, I am not having any more kids. Yeah. And maybe you're in your 20s and you're like, no, I want to have a family. Yeah. Yeah. On the first date, if he says, I do not want kids, believe him.
Yeah, you can't change him.
But women think, no.
If they get to know me,
he falls in love with me.
Once he dates me for a while, he'll realize.
Once he sees how wonderful I am, he'll change his mind because he really wants me. Yeah. You can't count on that. You cannot count on that. I've heard so many different scenarios where the man has said, I told her up front, I'm not changing. And she's like, I thought I'd get him to change. Yeah. You can't. Yeah. Okay. And maybe there's an exception there that maybe they did, but you don't want to start your relationship out with how can I change him? Mm-hmm. Okay. So first date, you don't want the same things. It was so nice meeting you. This was fun. Probably not going to do it again because I don't want to waste my time. I want to find a masculine man that wants the same things I want. Yeah. Right? To me, it's just common
that's
sense.
where I think you have to be very clear going into, a dating relationship or meeting somebody new is what do I want the end result to be? Yes. Because then it makes it, that happened to me. So, I was dating and I finally got to the age where in my mid to, later 20s, saying like, okay, if we're going to do the single woman math, if I meet someone today and we get engaged and I'm not having kids until possibly into my 30s. And so I finally locked it in because just dating with no end goal, thinking like, oh, we'll just get to know each other. And then
just having fun.
Along the way, we talk about what's the next steps and getting engaged and married and all that. Well, it doesn't work out that way because you do things a little bit differently. Like you're saying, when you go in with the end goal in mind that I want a committed monogamous relationship. So I shifted and started dating somebody. And within the first couple dates, and it was early, that we started talking about it because he was divorced, had 2 kids, and he talked about not wanting any more kids and going ahead and making that decision of having a vasectomy.
Wow.
And I had stated within the first couple dates, I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to have a family. And he, even though we kind of kept seeing each other for a short period of time, he went ahead and did that and went through with it.
Wow.
And at that point, it made it not emotional for me to say, okay, I really like you. You're a great stand-up guy. You're good looking. You have a great career, but this does not align. I'm going to be bitter for my life if I don't get to have children and I don't get to follow my dreams.
Your dream.
And what I want. So it did make it a little bit easier to say, cool guy. Thanks for great dates, but sorry.
Yeah. There's 3 things that a good relationship needs. Needs chemistry. You had that with the guy.
Yep,
You need that chemistry, that physical attraction. Okay. You need compatibility. You weren't compatible.
Right.
He was done. He had a family.
Yeah.
He didn't want to make more kids. So that was her signal to go, okay, nice guy, really liked you.
Yeah.
But you know what?
And I can't talk you out of
It's not going to work.
Not doing that appointment.
Right.
I can't change you.
Right.
So,
And the third thing is communication.
Yeah.
You got to be able to talk. I know when I met my husband, there was so much conversation. We could not get enough time to talk about all the things we want to talk about. I'd never had that with another person, another guy, where it would be like, oh my gosh, 3 hours have gone by. Like, it should come easy. Communication should be fun. It should be, there should be humor in it. That intellectually you're connecting, where you have lots to talk about and you're comfortable in the silence also.
Yeah.
Even when you're not talking, you're just comfortable being in their presence. So those 3 things, there's got to be chemistry, there's got to be compatibility, there's got to be communication. When all 3 of those things are hidden, you know this is a potential. This is a potential long-term monogamous relationship.
Yeah. So is it fine within those first few dates, few weeks to start talking about, what do I see
want?
my life looking like in the next 2 years, 5 years?
And finding out what his goals are. Like, what's he after? What's he want to build in his life? What does he want to do? Because learning all about him, 'cause I hear more women say, I went out with a guy and all he did was talk. And I said, actually, that's a good thing because you're learning about him, where he's at. Now, I get for a woman, if he never takes an interest in you, it's going to, after a while, it's like, well, I don't feel like we even connected because I didn't even get to share who I am. So a smart man is going to also take an interest and stop talking and hear from the woman also. But if you could listen to learn from him rather than trying to connect with him, because women always want to connect. They're trying to find the place, where do I connect? But if he's talking, he's revealing himself. You're learning all kinds of things about him, which is a good thing because then you can know, is this a guy I can go in the future with? Or what you're hearing, you're like, oh, this is never going to work for me. I'm never going to be the outdoorsy, camping, mountain biking, rock climbing kind of gal. So I'm not for him because he's going to want a partner in that. So yes, you want to find out, I think, first, second, third dates, the minute sex gets involved, guess what happens?
It muddles.
You stop talking. You stop getting to know each other. You're getting to know each other's body physically, but pretty soon you're not communicating anymore because you can't wait to get to the bedroom or he can't wait to get to the bedroom. So for sex, I would say if you say no to casual sex and you wait for a committed relationship. You wait for a ring. You wait for an engagement, a proposal. If you want marriage, do not give up the cookie. Okay, do not. You keep your legs closed and you hold out. A man will appreciate that. Even though he might continue to ask, he's going to respect you and appreciate you. And you do become a challenge for him, which is awesome.
So good.
Men love a
so
challenge.
just wrapping up today, any last words for our single women?
There's probably more things to attracting a man, but those I think are some really good basics to start with. And go on lots of dates and practice. Go out where people are and practice flirting. Some women need to practice. You're not good at it. You might not be good at it. Eye contact, smile. Don't be the first to shift your eyes. Look at him for as long as possible. And even if he comes up to you, let's say maybe you find out he's married. Oh, okay. Well, nice meeting you. Not that a married man should be, walking up to a woman who's smiling to him anyway. But again, you want to find out as much about him as possible on those first couple dates.
I think from my experience, just hearing you say, do something a little bit different. If it hasn't worked up until this point, do something a little bit different. Get out of your comfort zone.
Here's another thing. That just reminded me. That's so good. If you're running the same circles and with the same people and there's no one there and it's just the same group of people, you need to switch it up. You need to switch it up and you need to get outside your comfort zone and go where there's other groups of people that you don't know. Okay? Because guess what? The new girl gets all the attention. Men like the shiny new thing or come with a new look. into the group that you've been around, come in, get your hair, do a new hairstyle or dress a new way that maybe isn't something that you've worn before, and kind of change up your look a little bit, because again, that gets guys' attention, that like the new person in the group.
Yep. So they always say a girl who's had her heart broken always chops her hair off. She's about to change the world, change her life.
Is that what they say? Oh, it's funny.
So
anyway, so yeah.
So good, so good. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please subscribe, share it with somebody, share it with a single friend, single sister, and hit the notification bell so you know when a new episode is coming your way. It helps us if you leave any comments or questions you have down below. And make sure you check out Danielle on Instagram and Facebook.